What if you never slept again? The story of Jake. Jake was 32 years old. He had a normal life, a normal job, normal friends, normal routines, and like everyone else, he never thought much about sleep. Sleep was just something that happened. Every night he closed his eyes. Every morning he woke up. Simple. Until one Tuesday night. Jake got into bed around 11 o'clock. He wasn't stressed. He wasn't sick. Nothing unusual had happened. But as the hours passed, something felt wrong. He couldn't fall asleep. Midnight came. Then 1 in the morning. Then 2. Jake tossed and turned. He checked his phone, tried counting sheep, tried deep breathing. Nothing worked. By sunrise, he had not slept a single minute. He felt tired, but not terrified. After all, everyone has a bad night sometimes. He took a shower, drank some coffee, and went to work. Throughout the day, he felt sluggish. His eyes burned. His attention drifted, but he managed. The entire day, one thought kept him going. Tonight, I'll sleep. Tonight, everything will be normal again. But that night, it happened again. Jake couldn't sleep. Hours passed. Nothing. His body was exhausted. His brain was exhausted. Yet sleep never came. The next morning, Jake felt different. Not just tired, foggy. He forgot where he left his keys. He reread the same email 3 times. During a conversation with a coworker, he completely lost track of what he was saying. For the first time, he felt worried. And then came day 3. This is where things started becoming dangerous. Scientists know that after roughly 72 hours without sleep, the brain begins struggling to function properly. Jake experienced this firsthand. While walking to work, he noticed movement in the corner of his eye. He turned. Nothing was there. Later that day, he thought he heard someone call his name. No one had. His brain was beginning to misinterpret reality. Sleep deprivation was changing the way he perceived the world, but Jake still couldn't sleep. That night, he sat in darkness, staring at the ceiling. He wasn't awake by choice anymore. He desperately wanted sleep. Yet, every time he closed his eyes, nothing happened. It was as if his brain had forgotten how. Day 4, Jake's co-workers noticed. "You look terrible. You okay? You seem distracted." He laughed it off. But inside, he was terrified. His thoughts felt slower. His reactions felt delayed. Simple decisions suddenly felt complicated. Should he answer that email? Should he call his doctor? Should he go home? Even basic choices required enormous effort. And then something strange happened. For a few seconds, Jake lost time. One moment he was sitting at his desk. The next moment he was staring at his computer screen. 3 minutes had disappeared. He had experienced what scientists call a microsleep. His brain had forced itself into a brief sleep state without his permission. The scary part? He didn't even realize it was happening. Imagine driving a car when that happens. Imagine crossing a street. Imagine operating machinery. Microsleeps can be deadly. By day 5, Jake stopped driving entirely. It felt too dangerous. His body was awake, but parts of his brain were shutting down randomly. The human brain can only tolerate so much sleep deprivation before it starts taking desperate measures. Day 6. Jake finally visited a doctor. Tests were performed. Blood work looked normal. Heart function looked normal. Brain scans revealed no obvious problems. Yet Jake still couldn't sleep. The doctor prescribed medication. Jake took it that night. Nothing happened. No sleep. Just hours of staring into darkness. For the first time in his life, Jake felt genuine fear. Not stress, not anxiety, fear. because he realized something horrifying. The most natural thing in the world had become impossible. Continue. Day 7. 7 full days, 168 hours awake. At this point, Jake no longer trusted his own senses. He would see figures standing in doorways, then they'd disappear. He'd hear footsteps in empty rooms. Sometimes he'd start speaking and forget what he was saying halfway through a sentence. His friends became concerned. His family became concerned. Even Jake became concerned. The line between reality and imagination was beginning to blur. And science tells us exactly why. Sleep is not simply rest, it is maintenance. Every night, your brain performs thousands of biological tasks. Memories are organized. Neural connections are strengthened. Waste products are removed. Important hormones are regulated. Without sleep, that maintenance never happens. Imagine never changing the oil in a car, never cleaning a house, never fixing anything that breaks. Eventually, problems accumulate. That's exactly what was happening inside Jake's brain. Day 10, Jake stopped going to work. Conversations felt impossible. Concentration was gone. He would walk into a room and forget why. He would pick up his phone and forget who he was calling. His world had become a haze. And then came the hallucinations. Not small ones, major ones. He saw insects crawling across walls, people standing in rooms, objects moving. None of it was real, yet it felt real. To Jake, reality itself was becoming unreliable. Day 14, 2 weeks. At this point, Jake's body was suffering too. His immune system weakened. His stress hormones remained elevated. His blood pressure increased. His appetite became unpredictable. Some days, he felt starving. Other days, he had no interest in food at all. Scientists have discovered that sleep affects nearly every system in the human body. Heart health, metabolism, mood, memory, learning, hormones, immune function, everything. Sleep isn't one biological process, it's connected to almost all of them. Day 21, 3 weeks. Jake looked like a different person. Dark circles, pale skin, constant confusion, and still, no sleep. Then he learned about something called fatal familial insomnia, a rare disorder that prevents people from sleeping. As the condition progresses, neurological symptoms become severe. Eventually, the consequences become devastating. The disorder is extremely rare. But reading about it terrified Jake, because for the first time, he realized something. Humans are not designed to stay awake forever. The body requires sleep. Not wants it, requires it.